the ceiling? Why is my arm in the ceiling? One new track, multiple new layouts, 2 new cars, tweaks, polish, performance updates, Wreckfest 2, Update 2 has dropped, and in this video I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the update after driving into our subscribers and channel members in some of the most fun online racing we've had in a while. Every new subscriber on this video will be given 3% more protection from motorhomes driving into their face. So subscribe so you can then unsubscribe, click the like button and cry yourself to sleep. Now let me be honest, this is not the hugest of updates that they've done. It's pretty clear that this update is probably to take advantage of the Steam Summer Sale hype. That said, the motorhome alone justifies this update. If you do an oval, do the figure of 8, do an oval race with motorhomes, if you can do that without crying from laughter, there's something wrong with you. And that should say it all for Wreckfest 2, really. This is one of the few games where every time I play it, there are tears rolling down my face from the stupidity of what happens in it. Look how flat his car is! It's like a... What is that? It's just like an under tray. Look at it! Now the new track is a little bit basic. It does have a few different layouts, but it's basically another bog standard oval track, but with really high banks. It's quite tight. It's a bit tricky. I think I prefer the Speedway oval, to be honest. But, you know, it's a perfectly fine track, and the figure of 8 layout I think is actually more fun than the oval layout. The banks, though, do provide a unique aspect to it, and a bit more jeopardy of getting squashed into the side of a soil wall. But, yeah, no, it's not the most exciting of tracks, but it's another track. It's perfectly fine. The new cars as well, the motorhome is absolutely superb. It's a little bit slower than the road cars, but it's actually quite fast for a motorhome, and actually quite nimble for a motorhome. Drives a bit like you'd expect a bus to drive, a gutted bus. I didn't notice too much difference in handling with the new road vehicle from the other road cars. There's some subtle differences, but nothing crazy. Everything in this game, though, just drives really nicely. For this video, we've been playing using a Moser R21 direct drive wheel and really nice sim racing pedals and sim racing equipment. And what's really great with this game is you can play it perfectly fine with the gamepad and perfectly fine with the wheel. And I think the force feedback also seems to have maybe improved a little bit with this update as well, because we could really clearly feel the load of the vehicle, suspension, a little bit of track texture, though that could definitely be a lot more pronounced. But generally, you can just drive naturally, like you would a full-on simulator, and you can let the wheel go and the force feedback will correct the car nicely. It's just really pleasant to drive. I wish all arcade and even some simulators had this type of handling mechanics to it. Absolutely spot on. Now, a fair bit of this update is under-the-hood boring stuff, though if you were getting performance issues before, the update might improve your frame rate as the game has better VRAM usage. I would say the last update, though, was probably the most significant for people on lower systems with the DLSS, DLAA, and all that sort of frame generation stuff, which actually works really quite well in this title. Whilst I was live streaming, we did have 2 game crashes, I think, over 2 hours, so there's still some weird stability stuff, but supposedly they have improved stability some more. As you would expect with a title in early access, they're still working things out. You definitely notice, though, that multiplayer is a bit more streamlined. They said that they've done some improvements to netcode. To be honest, I always thought this game had some of the best netcode already, and even Wreckfest 1, so I'm not sure what they improved, but maybe it's got even better. The most noticeable stuff with multiplayer, though, will be just when you join servers, you'll get an information about that server that you're joining to then click continue through, which would be really nice, I think, for people that are running servers where they don't want to do rec racing, or they've got their own server rules and they want to let people know. So that those people can ignore that and then get banned off the server when they inevitably start crashing into each other in a game called Wreckfest. Not to knock driving seriously in this game. I mean, I wish that Dirt Rally drove as good as this, but you know, it's quite funny, those servers where they get really upset when people crash into each other in a title called Wreckfest. Also on the server side, I think they've made it that you can roll from session to session now with the server tools. I didn't see any servers doing that yet, so we weren't able to test it. I didn't set up my own server. We had someone in our community running a server, but we did that in the traditional way where you just change the admin options from the in-game dash. But yeah, those kind of things are really quite nice for those of you that run a server and just want it to all sort of chooch along by itself. Some notable gameplay changes. Cars seem to visually destruct even more than they did previously. Panels and things coming off them, doors coming off, the sides of the motorhome. The damage somehow is even more brutal, and when you have a full server with cars getting fully wrecked, there's just stuff everywhere, and I don't know how the game manages to run with all these physics objects all over the place. The normal damage mode has been decreased in terms of how strong your car is, though I still would actually like an even further reduced damage mode myself, because it's brutal. If you're playing, maybe it's because I was the streamer and everyone was just driving into me, but this game is absolutely brutal for your car getting wrecked. So I would like a subnormal mode where maybe it's still visual damage but the car's even safer, but they have adjusted the damage modes in the game. They've also added a last man standing demolition derby game mode, which we've not tested out, so I can't really comment on that, but I think that'll be really fun for us to play with community sessions. So make sure you subscribe and click the bell and all the YouTube annoying stuff, so that when we do this you can join in with us for that. Also join the Game of Muscle Discord, link is in the description underneath the video, so I'll notify you when we're doing that. For now though, it's probably better just doing that in single player, because it'll be very frustrating just people leaving the server when they're knocked out early on. They're not going to hang around. Some basic graphical changes have also happened. The race start has lights on the screen that are really obvious, which is nice because I kept missing the race start before, partly because I'm just dumb and slow, but now it's very hard to miss the race start. Though when you do start races in multiplayer, the car spawns in a weird location, then goes to the track and then it starts, so it's still a little bit buggy. They also have a wrong way graphic now on the screen, which is especially handy on the figure of 8 tracks, or when things go totally crazy and you don't know which way you're facing and then realise you need to turn around. So, you know, just really basic stuff. Car tags as well should be visible from a further distance, so you can spot the person that you hate and gradually fixate on their name tag as you reel them in and then destroy them. But, you know, lots of little HUD things, lots of little tweaks. Supposedly the AI has been tuned a bit more and should be driving better race lines and just driving a bit better. I think the AI generally was all right previously, so any improvement's a good improvement. I can't really comment on it, though, with this update because we haven't had a chance to test the offline. We were too busy driving into channel members, which is where I think most fun is with this. But there you go. That's the bulk of the update. It's not the most exciting of stuff, but it's necessary stuff, and it's stuff that actually does have quite a large impact on the enjoyment of the title. If you hadn't noticed, I'm a big fan of this game. I'm probably just biased because of how much I enjoy it. Like, any game that can just make me cry from laughter, that's it. I'm old. If something can make me cry laughing, that's a bigger miracle than the parting of the Red Sea, or walking on water, or turning water into wine. Or, I don't know why so much stuff in the Bible revolves around water. I guess it's in the desert and they were all really thirsty, so they're like, oh, water story, we like them. But yeah, that's it guys for this video. Great job by the developer. Worth getting? I would 100% say yes it is, but it is early access, there are still bugs, so keep that in mind. Another thing worth saying, Wreckfest 1 is still absolutely amazing and well worth playing, and that also runs on the Steam Deck, whereas I don't think this will because it's a little bit more demanding. Maybe one day it will. Message for the Wreckfest developers if they got this far in the video. Guys, put VR in the game. Come on, do VR. Do VR. Of all titles to have VR, can you imagine VR in this? Tyres in your face, bonnets in your face, oil drums in your face. It's all in your face. Perfect for VR. But, I tried, guys. I tried. Thanks for watching this. Happy tea drinking. Till the next one, take care and goodbye.